This video is brought to you by Private Internet Access. I have really been enjoying the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, and the longer I use this phone, the more I've been using the S Pen, which I would argue is the S23 Ultra's most unique feature. Believe me, the S Pen is much more than just a stylus. It is in fact a tool that helps you get more out of your S23 Ultra in terms of efficiency, as well as adding new features. And today I want to share with you my top 5 favorite use cases and features of the S Pen. But first, I am doing a giveaway on this brand new iPhone 14 in midnight. And if you want a chance to win, be sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment with your Instagram username. And then follow me on Instagram at Dion Schuddeboom, where I will announce the winner on June the 11th. So I would say my number one favorite use case for the S Pen is quick note taking, and you can do this right away. So simply take the S Pen out of your 23 Ultra, and right away we can start drawing on the lock screen. You don't even have to unlock the phone, and this is a great way to make quick note of an idea. I like to, for example, put video ideas down, grocery lists. You can even write reminders, create little diagrams, anything you like. A great way to quickly make a note of something that you want to be reminded of later. And of course, you can save it by pressing the top right button here, and then this will be saved into your Samsung Notes app. Now let's go ahead and take a look at that app here. So what I'm going to do is unlock my phone. Now first, quickly before we look at that, here you'll have this menu. This is called the Air Command menu, and this is something that will automatically come up every time you take out your S Pen. We're going to talk more about this and talk about customizing this later on in the video, but for now let's take a look at the Samsung Notes app. So this is the icon right here. Let's tap into it and look at this application. Inside the app, you'll first find an overview of all of your existing notes, including the ones that we have just created. So what we can do now is we can actually create a new note by tapping here on the bottom right corner. And to start, let's go ahead and name this note. We can type right here in the title. Now here I want to show you a cool feature of the S Pen, and that is write to text, where you can actually write out the name of the note. So let's go ahead and write out the word test here. There we go, and as you can see, it accurately detected even my handwriting, which for handwriting as bad as mine is quite an achievement on the part of the S23 Ultra. And then once you have a word written out, you can also cross through it to quickly remove it, making it very efficient. Of course, if you do want a keyboard, you can tap on the keyboard icon here and type by tapping like so. I like to switch between the two. Sometimes I like to write, sometimes I like to tap the keys with the S Pen. Nice to have both options. Good, so now that we've named the note, let's take a look at the note itself. Now, of course, we can draw right on it like so, and here on the bottom, we can change the brush size, color, as well as the opacity here. Great for taking notes, drawing out diagrams, etc. But you can take it even further by scrolling here to the bottom right, and we see this little shapes icon. And this, I think, is especially cool as it allows you to create really high quality, good looking notes on your S Pen, on your S23 Ultra using the S Pen. So you can see if I draw out a shape, say a triangle right there, it's actually going to correct it and make a much more cleaner, more accurate version of that shape. And this also works to arrows. Now, this I find especially useful for drawing things like flowcharts, floor plans for example, video setups as well. So really nice to have this. And of course, you combine it with the text, you can get some really good looking notes easily made right on your S23 Ultra. By the way, you can even add other media types to the Notes app. So for example, a picture, PDF, say you want to sign a document by hand using the S Pen to get your signature on there. But also, for example, in pictures, you can annotate them right in the Notes app using the S Pen. For example, if say you are a student taking a picture of a presentation slide or a whiteboard, or say you're stuck in some boring meeting, you can take a screenshot or a picture and then edit that right in the Notes app using your S Pen. The S Pen adds even more functionality to the S23 Ultra, a phone that is highly capable and is one that I use for, well, pretty much everything, from browsing the web to social media, my emails, and even mobile banking. And this is great, but with all this personal data, it is essential to keep yourself protected, which is why I always use a VPN, more specifically, Private Internet Access, or PIA, the sponsor of today's video. A VPN, or virtual private network, essentially hides your IP address and safeguards your internet connection through an encrypted tunnel. This way, it shields your digital life from the eyes of those who are looking to exploit your private information. Now, this is great when at home, but especially important when traveling abroad and connecting to untrusted networks. With PIA, you get unlimited device protection with support for every major platform, browser, and operating system. Let me show you how this works. So here on my Mac, with one click, I'm connected, and then I can choose to connect to servers from all over the world in 84 countries, including in every US state. And this is great because it will give you access to content that may be blocked in certain regions. For example, on Netflix, I love to watch the classic Pokemon series, but here in the UK, these are no longer available. But watch what happens when I use PIA. Simply connect, refresh the page, and now I have full access to the Japanese Netflix library. Watching Netflix without PIA is a little bit like getting a dozen gifts for your birthday, but you can only open one. With PIA, you get access to all the gifts, or in this case, shows. To learn more, be sure to head to piavpn.com/Dion to get 83% off your plan. That's just $2.03 per month, plus you also get 4 months completely free. Now at the start of the video, you probably saw me unlock my S23 Ultra with nothing but the S Pen, and this is a really cool feature. Let me just quickly show you this one more time so you can see my phone is locked here. I'm just going to press the side button on the S Pen once. It's going to wake the phone and automatically unlock. Now before we talk more about this feature, let me show you how to activate this. So what we're going to do is we're going to tap into the settings app here, go and tap into that, and then we're going to scroll down to where we find advanced features, and then click on S Pen, and then scroll down once more to more S Pen settings. And then right here on the top, that's going to be the first option that you're going to want to turn on, and that is the S Pen unlock. Now I'm going to quickly turn this off. I'll have to type in my PIN real quick. And then just to show you the setup process, simply turn it on by tapping on the toggle. You will have to type in your PIN. This is of course for security settings. Now, by the way, another feature that I highly recommend you turn on while you're here is the warn if S Pen is left behind. Now, especially if you're going to start using your S Pen more, it is very easy to leave it somewhere and forget about it. This way, if you do, you will get a notification on your phone to make sure you don't leave it behind. So it's something you hope to never need, but is reassuring to have on in the background. So I definitely recommend you turn this on. Great, so now that we've enabled the S Pen unlock feature here for the first time, once we activate it, so I'm going to quickly unlock my phone here, tap on the side button. Now, for the first time, it will ask for the PIN. This is, of course, for security settings, so security reasons. So what I'm going to do is quickly type in my PIN or use the fingerprint, and as you can see, the feature will now be enabled. So my phone is locked. Press the side button, boom, the phone will automatically unlock. I love this feature. This is especially great, I find, when I'm at home and I got my phone on my desk, got the S Pen right next to it, quickly unlock it with one press of a button, much more efficient than using the fingerprint or typing in your PIN. And to me, what I find especially important is that there are some safety measures in place, as of course this does allow for more efficient and quick access to your phone. So for example, if and when you restart your phone, this feature will need to be reactivated by typing in your PIN for the first time, sort of like what we saw when we turned on this setting for the first time. And this is really important if, say, ever your phone is lost or runs out of battery, something like that. And even more importantly is when the S Pen disconnects, in other words, when it is out of range, as these use Bluetooth to communicate, the feature will also disable. So if, say, your phone is ever stolen, lost, anything like that, or your S Pen is simply far enough away from your S23 Ultra, the feature will deactivate until you manually choose to activate it again. Now I want to take a look at the calendar. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, a calendar is truly essential to keep my day and my week organized and in order. But adding events, especially on a mobile device, including the 23 Ultra, can be a little bit finicky. I personally prefer to do this on my desktop, say at the start or the end of the day, but oftentimes throughout the day, I will need to make little amendments or notes on my calendar, and I find there is no better way to do this than with the S Pen. So what we're going to do is launch the calendar app. So I got a little widget down here, and what we can do is we can tap on this little icon here in the top right, and this will enable us the ability to write directly on the calendar. You can see I've got a few examples here where, as you can see, I can quickly write up an appointment. So for example, let's say here on the 16th, I don't know, let's say at 10 a.m. I have a meeting. There we go. And then right there, that will instantly be saved on my calendar. Go ahead and tap save there. And as you can see, that will then be stored along with my other events that I have written down. And then say at the end of the day later, I can process these properly on my desktop and make neat little events out of it. But throughout the day, I find this to be a really useful way to quickly make note of your calendar. Kind of going back to an old-fashioned paper calendar. Don't know if you've ever had one of those, but I sure have back in my day. And I find this to be really great to have on the S23 Ultra, sort of a modern take on an old feature. But again, during the day, this definitely saves you time. Up next, I want to show you a better way to take screenshots on your S23 Ultra, and this is called Smart Select, and this basically lets you save a specific part of your screen rather than taking a screenshot of the entire screen. So let me give you an example here. Let's say in the Instagram app, I'm going to scroll through my feed here. Be sure to follow me, by the way, great feed. Here, for example, on this post, let's say I want to take a screenshot of this post. Of course, I can take a full screen screenshot to look back at later, but what if I just wanted the post? Well, a quick and easier way to do that is to tap on the air command command menu, and then we're going to tap on this little icon here. This is the second one in my list. You'll recognize this as sort of a dotted crop symbol right here. Go and tap that, and then we can literally draw out a square of what we want to select and save. So as you can see, I've just highlighted only the post, and then from there we're able to annotate it right in this application here. We can also share it, message it to someone, and then of course save it as well in our gallery. And then as you can see, if we scroll down to our photo gallery, go to our recents, there it is. And as you can see, we will have just saved the post without all the text and other things like that. So all in all, this is just a more targeted way of taking screenshots. And again, because it's so easy to access right there in that menu, it's just super easy to highlight and select something right from your display. Really useful. Now, the S23 Ultra has a truly impressive camera system, and one way that it goes a little bit further is with the S Pen, as the S Pen can actually be used as a remote shutter. So what I'm going to do is press and hold the side button here on the S Pen, and as you can see, that's then going to open up the camera app, and I can flip the camera by simply double pressing the button. So we go from the rear camera back up to the selfie camera. As you can see you guys right there looking good through the selfie camera. You can see myself here. Hello. What we can then also do is press the button once to take a picture, and then also press and hold to get a burst. Now, this is a really useful feature if, say, you are wanting to get a group shot. So you set up the phone somewhere, prop it against a wall or a table or something. You then want to get the entire group in frame. Simply bring the S Pen, hold it in a very subtle way. You can hide it in the palm of your hand, press the button, and boom, you will have gotten the shot. At the start of the video, I briefly mentioned the Air Command menu, and that's this little icon here that you'll see on your screen whenever you have the S Pen out of your phone. Again, you can tap on it and get quick access to all the features, or to many of the features that the S Pen has to offer. Now, as sort of a bonus tip in this video, I want to show you how to customize this menu and get the most out of it. So to do this, let's go ahead and go into the Settings app, and then we're going to scroll down again to where we find Advanced, and then click on the S Pen, and then we have the Air Command option here. So go ahead and tap into that. The first thing we can change is the view. So as you can see, currently I have only the icons displayed. This will of course take up less screen space when you do open the menu. I think it looks a little bit cleaner. But if you're not sure what each function does, the standard view may be more useful, as of course it will give you a more detailed view, including the names of the different apps. Personally though, I prefer the compact view. I think it's just a little bit cleaner, again, primarily because it takes up less screen space of what I am doing in that current moment. Now, you can also customize and choose specifically which shortcuts or applications you want shown in the Air Command menu. To do this, we're going to click on the Shortcuts button here, and here you'll find a list of all of the features and applications that have something to do with the S Pen. So first section here is going to be S Pen specific features, so this includes the Notes feature that we looked at earlier, but then we also have shortcuts to all of your applications. So depending on what you use most often, or specifically what you use most frequently with the S Pen, and then over here are the ones that will be stored. So we can go in and remove by pressing the little minus button. We can go ahead and add in a new one. Let's see. Yes, Bixby, everyone's favorite digital assistant, of course. Go ahead and add that at the bottom of the list. Now, my suggestion will be to put the most commonly used features right at the top, as these will be easiest to find, and then the lesser used ones right on the bottom. You can see that we can add even more to a point where you would scroll once this menu comes up. Personally, I think less is more, so we're going to go and remove these recent ones, including Bixby. Sorry, Bixby, you're just not good enough. And there we go. As you can see, we now have a more compact menu and a quick way to access these great features of the S Pen. But that's it, guys. These are the top 5 most powerful S Pen features that I think you should know about. These are features that I use almost every day, and I think the S Pen really is something unique, and I think Samsung has done a great job at turning this into a powerful tool that, with the features that we looked at today, will help you add more to your S23, add convenience, and ultimately get more out of this phone. After all, this is an expensive phone, and you did pay for this S Pen, so may as well use it to its full ability. If you are interested, guys, I will leave all the purchase links down in the description. I highly recommend watching my S23 Ultra first 10 things to do video. This is a great way to save battery, maximize the performance and features of this phone. I've also done a more thorough comparison between the S23 Ultra and the iPhone 14 Pro Max, arguably 2 of the best phones out right now. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.